Good afternoon and merry lunchtime, everybody. I'm just trying to squeeze this one in just before I record the cup of tea with Gio. And then we're doing another video as well. So do excuse me if I do repeat myself, because you'll have watched the cup of tea before you've watched this. But I'm doing this before I do the cup of tea, if you see what I mean. It's transfer time, nearly. Certainly transfer gossip time. And a few things have caught my attention. Scrolling down through the normal news outlets, I was on Twitter. I've not got the, I've left the space here to flash the thing up, but I haven't got a screenshot of this. Saw it on Twitter that West Ham are linked with and are looking to purchase in the next transfer window a defensive midfielder, a winger, a striker, and a goalkeeper. Another goalkeeper. Now, I don't know if you know the news. It looks like Fabianski and Lanzini will both be back for the Crystal Palace match. So, not only has the loss of the Liverpool game done us a favour in as much as we don't have to get thrashed by Liverpool until later on in the season, thus spoiling our Christmas even more, the good news is it gives an extra week for the recovery period to get those two key players back inside the team. With that in mind, why would we be looking at another goalkeeper? Now, let's just say that not all these reports can be believed. I don't believe for a second that the club are going to go after a goalkeeper, a defensive midfielder, striker and a winger. Why would we? We don't spend money like that unless you're talking about a load of loan signings. But goalkeeper's an odd one. Because, I mean, unless Pellegrini is going to totally change his tactics, and maybe that is a good way, in fact, to stop the goals going in. Maybe he just fills the goal with goalkeepers. Because we've already got Fabianski. We've just heard that he's fit for the Crystal Palace game. We got young David Martin, or old David Martin, whatever you want to call him. He's in there. You've got Roberto, who could also... The three of them could fill up a goal together. That being said, you might not have Roberto in goal, but he's on the payroll. You'd have to have him. Maybe he could be a steward or something like that. He could do something like that. We've got Nathan Trott, who's out on loan at AFC Wimbledon. We've got Anang, who is keeping goal for our very successful under-23 team at the moment. So we've got plenty of goalkeepers. I haven't got a graphic for Anang. I couldn't find a picture of the bloke quickly enough, so sorry about that. Why would we bring in another one? I don't believe it, and I discount the story totally. However, the defensive midfielder one got me. And it sort of leads into... let's go to the Jovic one, right? Jovic has been linked with West Ham. I'll go to the article. West Ham have been turned down the move for Seb Haller's former strike partner, from Eintracht Frankfurt on loan. Serbian Luka Jovic grabbed 30 goals in the Bundesliga outfit last season before moving to Real Madrid in a £60 million deal. If you don't know who this bloke is, you're obviously not a massive follower of the European game. They played with a front three, Frankfurt. Haller was part of that front three. Jovic was the other one. What worries me about this? Well, first of all, I don't think he's managing to get into the Real Madrid team. He's certainly not flourishing over there. So we've clearly gone in with a cheeky bid. Now, this article's reported on Claret and Hugh. So I thought I would check it out and just see if the leak is true. And it is. Well, now, I don't know if we have actually bid for him, but the leak from the club is certainly saying that we have and we've been turned down. So we wanted to get him. That's a bit of a worry because we need a striker. Clearly we need a striker. Just like clearly we need a midfielder. But it's almost a case of what striker? A striker? Any striker? Because this guy, I don't think, is the striker we need. Madness, Gonzo. What are you talking about? I can hear you shouting through the screen. What it looks like we need is a striker who can run the channels, pull wide, and is very quick, and has a work rate. That's not this guy. This guy doesn't do that. In many respects, what we saw when Antonio and Haller played so well together was Haller was taking up the positions in the centre. he was ready to do the poaching. He scored one of the goals from it. The header was almost scored from a classic striker's position. We need someone that's going to buzz around, pull out wide, pull into the channels. It just worries me. I would normally discount this just like I discounted the goalkeeper rumour. But the fact that the club have secretly confirmed that we did go for him does make me worry. Because it's almost a case of, which striker do we get here? What striker? Any striker? It seems to be the case, doesn't it? You don't have to be particularly good at scouting to know this guy. So who's got him? We discussed yesterday about Pellegrini and Huselos not really bringing the players in. More has come out about that. Since I've done the video, a few people have done some digging around. And do you remember I said the bit from the Independent had been taken down, a bit about Jack Sullivan being a technical director? Somebody has actually found it and screenshotted it and put it up on Twitter. So, I mean, it clearly was there. So let's say Pellegrini's not choosing this guy, and let's say Huselos not choosing this guy. It's almost and I'm not particularly accusing Jack or anybody in particular at this. It could be all of them. It could be Jack Sullivan, David Sullivan, could be somebody else entirely. It could be an agent approaching West Ham. But this player doesn't require any inside scouting knowledge. It doesn't require any depth of research, let's say. Anybody could pick this guy out. He would be good on Championship Manager. He'd be good on FIFA or whatever it was. But it's almost a case of, we need a striker. Oh, there's one. He's famous. Let's go and see if we can get him. Now, we can't get him, so I'm not worried about it. But I do hope somebody does notice that in our quest and pursuit for a striker, we might well need somebody with legs. Which also brings me on to the link with a defensive midfielder. And I don't like, I'm going to do the thing again. I don't like the title defensive midfielder, because I think it tells a little lie to exactly what we need. And I worry that, like we've seen with the striker thing, it's going to allow us to pigeonhole something. We need a defensive midfielder. Well, no, it's more precise than that. We need somebody energetic. Yes, I would like them to be able to tackle a bit. I'd like to be able to put their foot in. I'd also like them to be able to run, and run quick and get beyond the defence, the opposition defence. I'm not saying we could buy, somebody like Frank Lampard, for instance, or David Platt, or whichever one you want. But I need them to be able to run behind. It's got to be box to box, and you've got to be high energy, and you've got to be quicker than Frank Lampard as well. We need a very particular set of skills. I sound like Liam Neeson off Taken then, don't I? A very particular set of skills is what we need, learnt over a number of years. And I just worry that actually someone's going, we need a defensive midfielder, defensive midfielder. Oh, I know, we'll go and get Danny Drinkwater or something like that. It just doesn't, it doesn't really tick the box. It doesn't really tick the needs. It's a paint-by-numbers way of scouting players. We don't just need any old defensive midfielder. We don't just need any old striker. They've got to fit the system. Whose system? Pellegrini's system? Which one? The old one with the one up top, or the new system, the one he's just discovered? Or what about the system that the next manager will want to play? This is why you have a director of football, and this is why you have a director of football that's not tied to the manager. So each manager comes and goes, but they're playing to the ethos and the philosophy of the director of football. So if what you're playing is a 3-5-2, then your next coach, you go and scout someone that basically plays 3-5-2. So when he comes in, you've got a squad that has 3 centre-backs, a left footer, a right footer, one that brings it out through the middle, that makes up the extra number in midfield. You've got wing-backs rather than full-backs. Your squad is not stacked in any area. And I do worry about this, and I do worry about somebody coming in and then finding themselves with the wrong players. Why? Because we've just got a defensive midfielder, a striker. Let's get this right. This has got to be got right. I know we're dealing with rumours, but as I said, I've had this one confirmed. And I know many people would say, Jovic, he's wonderful, he's brilliant, he is a fantastic player. And if what we were going to do is go and get the Frankfurt manager and bring in the other one, whatever his name is, Robic, Bobic, who knows, whatever his name is, and part of the 3 of them, fine. But if we're going to bring this guy in, you better put pace around them. Because the 2 strikers are not going to have much pace. Heller's not got much pace. Jovic has not got... He's all right. He's not slow, don't get me wrong, but he's not lightning. And we need pace in the team. You better have 2 very, very quick wingers. Because you ain't going to be able to play this guy, Haller. Yarmolenko on the right, Fornals on the left. It just ain't going to be quick enough. So they've got to get that right. Anyway, speaking of things that you've got to get right, I'm going to have to go and do a cup of tea with Gio and Gonzo now. I wonder, was it... I don't know, you see. It's not happened for me yet. You've watched it. You know whether it's good or bad. Naughty or nice. I'll catch up with you tomorrow. This transfer gossip is going to run and run